Well, President Trump joking with the Texas sheriff about destroying a state senator's career because he won't back civil asset forfeiture.
We've got a state senator in Texas that was talking about introducing legislation to require conviction before we could receive that forfeiture money.
Can you believe that?
And I told him that the cartel would build a monument to him in Mexico if he could get that legislation.
Who's the state senator? Do you want to give his name? We'll destroy his career.
That was funny, but civil asset forfeiture is a hot debate, and a few state senators in Texas are trying to pass legislation requiring a conviction before any assets can be seized. Here to discuss is former Sheriff Paul Babeu and Jason Pye. Jason, you were FreedomWorks. Your organization is strongly against this, and it's one of these topics where I feel like folks, very respected folks on the right, are conflicted over it.
I don't think there's that much conflict over it. I think that the polling shows us that Republicans strongly support civil asset forfeiture reform. There's a 2014 poll from Rasmussen that shows significant Republican support, over 70% Republican support. A similar poll from YouGov just in 2015 showed significant Republican support. So I think that any conservative, anyone or any Republican who believes in free markets, who believes in the right to private property, which is one of our most basic civil liberties and most basic tenets of free markets, would support the right for people to keep their property without, as long as they have due process of law, and only then can it be taken away. This is a constitutional conservative issue. The Fifth Amendment makes this very clear, that no life, liberty, or property shall be deprived without due process of law. And unfortunately, in civil asset forfeiture, due process is often denied. In most states, it's only can be taken by a preponderance of the evidence, which is an incredibly low standard. It's like a coin flip.
Paul, and yet you heard the sheriff there saying, hey, you've got cartels that are sitting on all of this money, all of these assets. They've got bigger budgets than police departments, and it would be nuts to let them keep that money and use it whether to fight their case or to fight or continue to commit crimes. Where do you stand on this, and why is it so dear to many of our law enforcement?
Well, I can tell you as a sheriff for 8 years, and most law enforcement not only support the use of the civil asset forfeiture, but it's a tremendous tool, a weapon, if you will, to use against mainly these large criminal syndicates, where here in Arizona, we brought a heavy hand against the Sinaloa cartel, seizing not just their cash, but vehicles that they use, even properties that they invest in. And Jason makes a case like, of course, I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican. I want due process afforded, and there is this that's guaranteed. It's not like the cops just say, hey, we're taking this car and it's now ours. It goes to a different branch of the government. We're a part of the executive branch. It goes before the judicial branch, and we have to make the case to the judiciary that this, whatever the asset is, it could be cash, it could be jewelry, it could be a vehicle, that it is the derivative of criminal activity. Now, you don't have to be a deputy to figure this out. When they're asking a person with $225,000 in cash, which this is a real story, happens quite frequently here in Arizona, asks the driver of that car, where did this cash come from? And they look at us with a surprised look, saying, I didn't even know it was in my car. And by the way, that driver of the vehicle doesn't even have a job. It's many cases like this.
Right.
Of course, we all want to protect due process, and we're not just out there as law enforcement officers taking property away from citizens, as is reported.
Jason, we've got 30 seconds, but I want to hear what you have to say, because what Paul laid out sounds like common sense, and it sounds like it'd be doing the public a service by actually seizing these assets.
I just want to mention the case of Rhonda Cook, who is from Pinal County, Arizona, whose son had her truck, and the truck allegedly had something stolen on it. Pinal County Sheriff's Department seized the truck and took it into custody, filed forfeiture proceedings against it. When Rhonda Cook tried to challenge this in court, she had to pay a $300 fine or fee to even present a challenge to it. And then when she was notified that she would be responsible for all attorney's fees related to that, she withdrew her claim. Thankfully, with the help of an outside group, she's suing Pinal County for the right to get her truck back.
Well, we'll see how that goes out.
The ACLU.
All right, gentlemen, thank you both
very much.
Civil liberties
are civil liberties.
Very passionate, and this is a topic I think that more and more people are going to be drawn to. It's important and critical. You guys are both brilliant, and I appreciate you being on tonight.